At least some of us can actually afford to contribute to the family. That's what my sister Jessica said. Christmas dinner. 20 people at the table. Everyone is laughing, drinking wine, and enjoying the meal. And she just said it, looked right at me and said it. The room went quiet for 3 seconds. Then someone laughed nervously, and the conversation moved on. Like it was just a joke. Like she hadn't just humiliated me in front of our entire family. I didn't respond. Just took a sip of water and went back to eating. Because here's what Jessica didn't know. I'd paid for everything. The house we were sitting in, the food on the table, the gifts under the tree, every single thing. And she was about to find out. My name is Marcus. I'm 33 years old, and I've spent most of my life being invisible in my own family. My older sister Jessica is 37. A corporate lawyer, makes $215,000 a year. Married to Tom, a financial advisor, pulling in $180,000. Beautiful suburban house, 2 kids in private school. She's always been the golden child. I'm a software developer making $165,000 a year. I work from home in sweatpants, drive a 2016 Toyota Camry, and live in a modest 2-bedroom condo. Nothing flashy. My parents are retired on Social Security and a small pension. Comfortable, but not wealthy. The family dynamic was set early. Jessica was the success story. I was the steady, reliable, but unremarkable younger brother. The tech guy who helped fix computers. Useful, but not worth celebrating. For years, I watched Jessica take credit for family help she didn't provide. Heard her make digs about my simple lifestyle. And I never said a word. Because I love my family. And because I thought staying humble meant staying quiet. I was wrong. When I was 28, my parents' furnace died. $6,800 to replace. Jessica said she'd see what she could do and never mentioned it again. I paid for it. When my parents thanked the kids, Jessica smiled and said, "Of course, we couldn't let you freeze." 2 years later, my dad needed surgery. $4,200 deductible. Jessica said she'd help out, but never did. I paid it. At Thanksgiving, Jessica gave a speech about taking care of our parents. Everyone nodded. Last year, their car transmission failed. $3,100. Jessica was tight on cash after posting vacation photos from Aruba. I paid for it. My dad said, "You kids are so generous." Plural. But the comments were worse. At my mom's birthday, Jessica looked at my car and said, "When are you going to upgrade that thing?" It's embarrassing. Last Christmas, I gave our parents a $1,200 TV. Jessica gave a $50 gift card but said, "We really spoiled them this year, didn't we, Marcus?" 6 months ago, at my parents' anniversary, Jessica was talking about her kitchen renovation and lake house plans. Then she looked at me. "What about you, Marcus? Any big plans? Or just maintaining the status quo?" I said I was happy. She patted my shoulder. Not everyone needs to be ambitious. The world needs worker bees, too. Worker bees. Every time I stayed quiet. But I wasn't just contributing. I was carrying the family financially. And Jessica was treating me like I was barely scraping by while she played successful savior. This Christmas was at my parents' house. 20 people. I'd arrived early, helped with everything. Jessica showed up at noon with store-bought rolls. Dinner went fine until dessert. Jessica talked about the generous presents she'd bought, maybe $400 total. What she didn't mention, I'd spent $3,800. New refrigerator, Dad's woodworking tools, Mom's jewelry, the furniture they were sitting on. Jessica kept talking. We really wanted to make this Christmas special. They deserve it. My uncle raised his glass. You kids take such good care of them. Then Tom mentioned their budget being tight with the lake house. Jessica waved him off. We always make room for family. Unlike some people. She looked at me. I mean, Marcus, you could have pitched in more. But I get it. Tech salaries aren't what they used to be. My mom's fork stopped. My dad shifted uncomfortably. I contributed, I said. Sure. Jessica said, dismissing me. The pies were great, Mom. My Aunt Linda pushed further. Marcus, honey, if you ever need help, we're here. Times are tough. Jessica nodded. There's no shame in being where you are. Not everyone can afford, she paused. At least some of us can actually afford to contribute to the family. Complete silence. Someone's fork clinked. Then Tom laughed nervously. Jess, come on, what? I'm just saying. We all know who pulls their weight. I stood slowly. Excuse me. My mom reached for my arm. Marcus, I need some air. I walked out, got in my car, and drove home. Behind me, 20 people were probably discussing poor Marcus. Can't take a joke. Too sensitive. They had no idea. I didn't answer my phone for 3 days. Mom, sweetheart, please call. Jessica didn't mean it. Dad, son, don't let this ruin the holiday. Jessica, you're being dramatic. It was a joke. Call me. I deleted them all. My mom called 4 times. Left messages about Jessica feeling bad. Family being more important than pride. Jessica called twice. 1 voicemail. Seriously? Are you going to throw a tantrum? Grow up. My mom showed up at my condo on day 8. I didn't answer. She left a note. Please, Marcus. We love you. I threw it away. They thought I was sulking. Thought I'd eventually calm down. They had no idea I was planning something else. On day 9, I opened my laptop and looked at what I'd built. Checking account, $94,300. Savings, $168,000. Investment portfolio, $890,000. Retirement accounts, $425,000. Condo equity, $182,000. Total net worth, $1.76 million. At 33, then I pulled on my spreadsheet. Every dollar given to the family over 5 years. Furnace, $6,800. Surgery, $4,200. Transmission, $3,100. Dental work, $2,400. Water heater, $1,850. Property tax, $3,200. Roof repair, $5,400. Christmas gifts, $14,200. Various emergencies, $8,900. Total, $50,050. Jessica's contributions over the same period, $8,000. Usually with fanfare. They didn't know. Never bothered to ask. I made a decision. I'd tell them once. Clearly. With documentation. Not to gloat, but because they deserved to know who they dismissed. I spent 4 days building my case. Bank statements. Every transaction is highlighted. Furnace payment. Surgery check. Transmission repair. All of it. Investment statements. $890,000 portfolio. Retirement accounts. $425,000. Property records. $182,000 equity. Tax returns showing $165,000 salary for 5 years. Then the harder part. Screenshots of 17 text messages where my parents thanked the kids and Jessica took credit without contributing. Dad, thanks to you kids for the property tax. I'd paid it. Jessica replied with a heart emoji. Mom, the water heater is perfect. Your children are blessings. Jessica contributed nothing. I organized everything into folders. 3 copies. 1 for my parents. 1 for Jessica. 1 for me. Then I called my parents. First time in 2 weeks. Marcus. Mom sounded relieved. I need to talk to you and Dad. And Jessica. Sunday, 2 o'clock. Should I make lunch? No, this won't take long. Sunday was 3 days away. 3 days for Jessica to assume I was coming to apologize. She was very wrong. Saturday night, Jessica texted, "Glad you finally came to your senses. Look, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. You know how I am. Not an apology. A justification." I typed, "See you tomorrow." She replied, "That's it? No thanks for apologizing." 10 minutes later, "You're really going to drag this out? Fine. I'm sorry. Okay. Happy now. Still not genuine." Sunday, I arrived at 1:55. My parents' car was there. Jessica's SUV. Just the 4 of us. My mom hugged me. "I'm so glad you're here." Jessica was on the couch, arms crossed. "Finally, can we get this over with? I have plans at 4. Jessica, my mom warned. What? I apologized. Multiple times. If Marcus wants to be dramatic, I'm not here for an apology, I said quietly. Everyone stopped. Then why are we here? I set the folder on the coffee table. I have something to show you. I opened the folder, pulled out 3 bound packets, handed them out. What is this? Jessica asked. Just look. First page, timeline. Every expense over 5 years. Dated. Amounts. Total, $50,050. My mom's hand went to her mouth. My dad's jaw tightened. Jessica stopped flipping dismissively and started reading. Second page, bank statements. Every transaction is highlighted. Third page, the text messages. 17 times, my parents thanked the kids, and Jessica accepted credit. Fourth page, my net worth. $890,000 investments. $425,000 retirement. $182,000 property equity. Total, $1.76 million. My dad looked up. Son, why didn't you tell us? I didn't need credit. I just wanted to help. Jessica stared. This can't be right. You drive a Camry. I make $165,000 a year. I've invested since I was 25. I live below my means. I kept my voice calm. You assumed I was struggling because I didn't brag. You never asked. My mom was crying. We had no idea. I know. Because Jessica took credit. I looked at her. You didn't contribute to the furnace. Or Dad's surgery. Or Christmas. But you let everyone believe you did. Jessica's face flushed. I helped sometimes. 8,000 over 5 years. It's on page 7. She flipped. Saw the 8-to-1 ratio. At Christmas, you said I couldn't afford to contribute. In front of 20 people. I'd spent $4,000 that day alone. You spent $400. My dad set down his packet. Jessica, is this true? I didn't know Marcus was paying. You never asked. You assumed. I stood. So now you know. I'm not struggling. I never was. I'm done being invisible while you take credit for my generosity. My dad stood. Son, things are different now. I'm not covering expenses unless you ask me directly. No more assumptions. No more letting Jessica speak for both of us when she's contributed a fraction. I walked out, left them with the packets. The truth. 5 years of proof. The call started within an hour. I didn't answer. Mom left 5 voicemails. Crying. Apologizing. We had no idea. Jessica left at 3. First, defensive. You blindsided me. Second, apologetic. I didn't realize. I should have known. Third, you're right. About all of it. Tom called. Marcus, Jessica showed me everything. We had no idea. Please give her a chance. My dad texted. We owe you more than an apology. Come over when you're ready. I didn't respond for a week. Day 8, my mom showed up. I let her in. We went through every expense, she said. Marcus, we should have paid attention. Jessica let you think it was equal. We should have asked. She wiped her eyes. What can we do? I don't know if you can. She nodded. Didn't argue. 3 days later, Jessica texted. Can we meet? Just you and me. I finally replied. Coffee shop on Main. Tomorrow at 3. Thank you. Jessica was already there. She looked different. Tired. No muck-up. Thank you for coming. I waited. I am sorry. Really, genuinely sorry. She looked at her coffee. For taking credit. For the comments. For Christmas. For never asking if you were okay. For assuming the worst, because you didn't live how I thought successful people should. I stayed quiet. I think I was jealous. You were happy without needing validation. I have everything I wanted, but I'm not happy. That bothered me. That doesn't excuse it. I know. Nothing does. She wiped her eyes. Mom and Dad asked me directly now. They thank you specifically. I told them the truth about all the times I took credit. Good. I'm trying. Not taking credit anymore. Actually contributing when family needs help. We'll see. She stood to leave. I'm proud of you. For what you built. I should have said that years ago. That was 3 months ago. Things are different now. My parents asked me directly. Thank me specifically. Don't lump me with Jessica anymore. Jessica and I talk occasionally. Surface level. We're not close. But we're civil. She sent a check for half the water heater. $925. I didn't cash it. Just kept it as proof she was trying. At Easter dinner, Jessica was there. No comments about my car. When my aunt asked about work, Jessica stayed quiet. Let me answer. Small progress. I don't know if I'll ever fully forgive her. But I'm not invisible anymore. And if someone tries to make me do that again, they'll learn the same lesson. The truth doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be documented. If you're listening to this, maybe you're the person who gives quietly, who helps without asking for credit, Who stays humble while others take the spotlight? Here's what I learned. Humility doesn't mean invisibility. For years, I thought staying quiet about my success meant being a good person. But if you never speak up, people will speak for you. And they won't always get it right. Jessica didn't assume I was struggling because I lacked success. She assumed it because I never corrected her. I let her build a false narrative. And over time, that became everyone's reality. I'm not saying brag about every achievement, but don't let people diminish you. Don't accept being the punchline when you're actually the backbone. There's a difference between humility and silence in the face of disrespect. Humility is quiet confidence. Silence is just acceptance. I gave $50,000 over 5 years because I love them. I don't regret helping, but I regret not speaking up when Jessica took credit. Every time I stayed quiet, I taught them my contributions didn't matter. The revenge wasn't showing receipts. It was showing them what they'd been too busy judging to notice. That the person they dismissed had been holding things together all along. But you shouldn't need revenge. You shouldn't wait until you're humiliated to stand up for yourself. Know your worth before someone questions it. Make sure people in your life know it too. Not by bragging, by setting boundaries, by correcting false narratives, by saying, actually, I paid for that, by refusing to be invisible. Your family should know what you contribute. Not because you need validation, but because relationships built on false assumptions aren't real. Jessica thought she was the successful one, the generous one, and I let her believe that. But it didn't matter, because eventually, she felt entitled to mock me. So if you're the person who pays in silence, stop. Speak up, honestly, not aggressively, because people who truly love you will want to know the truth. And if they get angry when you set the record straight, then maybe they never valued you in the first place. My sister mocked me at Christmas, said I couldn't afford to contribute, in front of 20 people. She had no idea I'd paid for everything. But the real problem wasn't her ignorance. It was mine. I'd been so busy being humble that I'd made myself invisible. And invisible people get stepped on. Don't make that mistake. Know your worth. Make sure people know it. And if they dismiss you anyway, show them the receipts.